the shame of talking about it is. Oh, we're synced, Pitta. Pitta and I have talked about this for more than a year. Pitta and I are in sync, even though we've never physically met, we've never been in the same room as each other, we are in sync. Do you actually want to know what I texted Pitta on Wednesday morning? And this is the truth, guys. I texted Pitta Wednesday morning and said, what week is it? And she texted me saying, yep, it's due week. And even when I don't have the monthlies, I get the hormones. I get the hormones and the mood swings and stuff like that, even when I don't actually get it. So yeah, it's bonkers. But yeah, I said to Pitta on Wednesday morning, I said, what week is it? I didn't tell her that mine had started. I said, what week is it? And she said, yep, due week. And I said, yep, mine's just started. First time in months. So, yes, exactly, Elsie. Us PCOS girls, we know what it's like. It hits you out the blue. You never know when to expect it. But it's funny that even when I've not had it, by talking to Pitta and her noticing that my hormones and stuff are there even when I don't actually have them. So, yeah, that's why I've been feeling so rough this week. I started feeling rough last weekend, Sunday afternoon, evening into Monday. And that's when I started really noticing I was getting rough. Okay, Lucy, hold on. So I started knowing, yeah. Hold on. Oh, Pitta, that's a nice table. That's a nice table. Oh, yes. So Pitta's treated her and the family to a new dining table. That is really nice. That is really nice. Mum of one. Yes, well, I wondered. I haven't been to the doctors for a while because of the move and everything. So, actually, I'm going to say it, guys. Periods. We're talking about periods. If you don't like it, scroll on. We're talking about something perfectly normal. So, I thought I'd started the menopause. I thought that being the age of 50, I thought I'd gone into the menopause. Yeah, it hit me like a bolt out of the blue on Wednesday morning. And I've been suffering from really bad stomach cramps, really bad fatigue, exhaustion, since Sunday night, Monday morning, Sunday afternoon, evening and Monday morning. I woke up Monday morning feeling bloody awful. And with my PCOS, I didn't even think about periods. Didn't even think about it being a period. And whammy, it hit me Wednesday morning. And I'm going to admit guilty. I'm going to admit guilty to everybody. The mods already know this because I've had a chat with a couple of them. Well, not all the mods. A couple of the mods know this because I've had a chat with a couple of them. Pitta and Lucy I've had a chat with, and a couple of the others as well. I've had really bad cravings this week. Really bad cravings. So I'm going to admit the first one. I am finishing another bottle of Pepsi Max. I had a half litre, you know, those little half litre bottles. I had one of those this evening because I was craving some Pepsi Max. And the other thing I was craving pizza of all bloody things. I've been off carb heavy stuff for ages. absolutely ages I've been off carb heavy stuff. Since New Year. And the craving for pizza hit me Wednesday evening. And this evening it got too much. I had pizza. I had Pizza Hut pizza tonight. Hands up. Hands up. Yep, I had Pizza Hut pizza. So yeah, confessing my sins, SYNS, on here, telling you all, you know what? We're all human. We're all human. We all have cravings. I'm actually impressed that I haven't done worse. I'm impressed I haven't hit the chocolate. I'm impressed that I've managed to keep it fairly under control. But I just couldn't hold back. I desperately tried yesterday to keep the cravings under control. Gloomy, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. It is, Michelle, but I'm desperately trying to keep my Pepsi Max consumption down. I'm desperately trying to reduce my caffeine intake. Oh, hold on. Who's messaging me now? Sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, that's good, Pitta. So Pitta's talking about the table and benches she got. So it's 2 benches that she's got with a nice table in the middle. Because when she's got the whole family there. Pitta, is it okay for me to say this? I'm just checking it's okay for me to say this before I say too much. Yeah, so when Pitta's whole family is there, she's got 6 of them to sit round a table. So these benches are really nice because you can sit 3 on each side. So that is really nice. No, guys, the whole point of me decreasing my Pepsi Max intake, is not just about the caffeine, although that's a heavy thing to do with it. I don't like the caffeine-free one. I don't like the taste. And also I'm trying to reduce my aspartame intake. Aspartame is the chemical that's the sweetness in Pepsi Max. And too much aspartame not is bad for you, can be bad for some people. Okay, X, hold on. Oh, look now, I just saw that on the screen. Why have I picked this one up? I need to pick the other one up. Oh. Hold on. I'm looking now, Eggs. Let's have a look. Okay, Eggs, thank you. Mods, can one of you unmute Melissa, Mallisa? Melissa Marie, can you unmute her, please? Unless she was muted for a real reason. Because I can't see why they were muted. Can you unmute her, she says. I don't know why she's been muted. You guys can... you guys can tell me if there was a reason. Is that true, Granny Pollard? I haven't seen any articles to that fact. So if you know of anything, I'd be interested to read it. If you know of any articles about that, I'd be interested to read it. Thank you, Granny Pollard. Thank you. Yeah, I'd appreciate a read if it's been proven. I'd appreciate a read. I'm not in a flat, Else. I'm in a bungalow. So in case you're in another country, a bungalow is a house all on one level. Sometimes it's a terrace of bungalows. Sometimes it's a standalone bungalow, which is detached. And sometimes it's a semi-detached, meaning you're joint one side. I'm not telling you what mine is. Hi, Noodles. I'm good, thank you. Yep. Oh, you know what a bungalow is? Yeah. That's all right. Yeah, mum of one it is, but unfortunately not everybody knows what the word bungalow means, because not in America they don't call it bungalows. Claire Bear, you're craving pizzas as well. Well, I had the pepperoni, the double pepperoni. Anybody who knows me knows that my pizza choice topping is pepperoni, but I added some chicken, mushrooms and sweet corn. Because I don't like just purely pepperoni, but I always have the barbecue base, and is that true, X? I didn't know that. Is that true? It's the first time I've had the double pepperoni Raven. It's two different types. It's not actually called double pepperoni. It's called something else. But it's two different types of pepperoni. Yes, Melissa. And that's why I'm thinking last week I put weight on. If you remember last week when I weighed in, I put a pound on. Although I also knew I'd been bad. I suspect if I'd gone this week, I'd have put weight on as well. Because I suspect this week was also a bad week because of all of that. And I know this week now is a bad week. So I know that pizza today is going to pile on at least a pound. But you know what? Yeah, it happens. Well, Izzy, you can't see it because it's out of camera, but can you see my Cheshire Cat up there? You see my Cheshire Cat up there? I love the Cheshire Cats. I absolutely love the Cheshire Cat. So, yep. Have I got any Charlie Bears fans in here? Have I got any Charlie Bears fans in here? Right, Jane, have you seen the Charlie Bear Cheshire Cat? Has anybody seen Charlie Bear Cheshire Cat, and what do you think of it? Cillian, I am tired, but I'm not too bad. Oh, nice one, Colouring Queen. Lucy, don't talk about it in here, please. We're not allowed to. Okay, please do not talk about any of the new Charlie Bear stuff. We're not allowed to talk about it online till next week, because it's not officially launched till next week. So we're not talking about it at all until next week. I'm literally going to ban anybody who tries to talk about the new Charlie Bear stuff. That's okay, Lucy. That's okay. Cillian, best place I've ever visited would be Russia. Oh, thank you so much, Holly. Thank you so much for the swan. Thank you for the beautiful swan. Thank you. Another foolish mortal. You can't talk about it before the official release next week. So I'm not going to talk about it. That's it. End of subject. Worst place I've visited. Worst place I visited. I know I want to say, but I can't. I know what I want to say, but I won't. Oh, I so want to say that, but I can't. I'm not answering that question. Worst place I've visited, I'm actually not going to answer that one because it might get me into trouble. Oh, dear. Good night, Eggs. Thank you. Pumpkin, do you mean on WhatsApp? I got it. About aspartame. Yeah, that's why I said that. I've read all of that. Thank you for showing it to me, Amanda. I have read that before. That's why I said aspartame is bad for some people. Because it's not bad for everybody. It's bad for some people. And I've drunken Pepsi Max and stuff for so long. I want to see if coming off aspartame stuff makes any difference for me. But I can't just cut it out like that, which is what I've been trying to do. I'm just looking at your message, Granny Pollard. Thank you. I will read that later, Granny Pollard. Thank you for that. I will read it. I'm not going to look at it now if you don't mind, but I will read it over the weekend. So thank you very much. Yes, Elsie, that is also very true. Yes, the fact I've lost weight could also be why I've had a period. It could also be, yes. Hello, Raven. What have I been up to today? So I have had a lot of rest because I really felt crappy this morning. And then this afternoon, or later this afternoon, I've been in the conservatory. And I've been... Wasn't I playing with you? I don't know what you're talking about, Pizza. Sorry, have I been ignoring comments and... Pizza, what... Oh, Patch! There you go, there's Patrick. Patrick, the warmie, so this is a warmie from Mel. If you know Mel, a Little Birdie gift shop, Mel has been selling warmies. I don't know if she's got any left or not, but these are the ones you can stick in the microwave and warm up, and she was selling them off because she's no longer stocking them. And I absolutely love this one because it's so nice to put on the middle of your back. And those of you who know I was cold yesterday, you know, I warmed it up and stuck it on the middle of my back. Oh, it did the job so well. And it warmed me up. But last night I warmed it up again and took it to bed with me. And I was cuddling this little one in bed. It was so bloody cute. Are we still friends? Of course we're friends, Lils. I couldn't live without my pizza. I couldn't live without my little bit of pizza every day. It was great for helping with the period pains last night. It really was. And the lavender smell. the smell of lavender that comes out of these is so good. It is very cute, but Pitt has named it Patrick. Not that I really agree, but Pitt has named it Patrick. So I've kind of letting her get away with calling it Patrick. Hi Doreen, good evening. Yes, Kerry, period pains, yes. That's what I was talking about a little while ago. I thought I'd entered the menopause. I thought I was done with my periods, and whammy, on Wednesday morning a period started. You can call it Patrick if you want to. I'm good, thank you, Doreen. How are you? I hope you've had a good day. Okay, I've had a couple of messages from people who tell me that I am their... I don't know how to say this carefully. A couple of people have messaged me in the last week and have told me I am... Well, this is the general gist. One person actually said this literally, and the other person said... Well, one person said I am their bedtime companion. Literally. And the other person said something similar, but it wasn't that wording. And I don't know how many other people like listening to me in the evening. For that reason, that kind of reason, that you really like my company in the evenings when you're getting ready for bed, that type of thing. You listen to me and fall asleep. I love that, Granny Pollard, yeah. Well, Mike, if you've heard nothing good about me and you don't like me, Mike, why the hell are you in here? Bye. Thank you, Nikki. I'm accompanying you in the bath, Ray. Aw. How's Babby doing, Ray? How's Babby doing? Oh, thank you, user. Thank you, Cozy Bay. Thank you, Daisy May. She's got me on mute, but she's been to watch Joseph. How's the fish tank coming along? Hold on, I'll show you. The fish tank is doing good. Thank you for saying I'm calming, Rapunzel. Thank you. Alexa, fishy on. Yeah. My electric plug is called Fishy, to turn the fish tank light on and off, but it's also on a timer. Look how clear that is with the plants in. There's the Star Trek Enterprise at the back and the Doctor Who TARDIS at the front. And if you look carefully, you can see the agitation in the water. And I will explain why it's important to have agitation in the water. Now, what that water is doing when it's moving like that, when the water from the filter is being circulated round at the top of the tank like that, it's moving the surface water. And that's important because moving the surface water and keeping it moving brings new air into the water. So once there are fish in the tank, they need to be able to breathe. And by agitating the water at the top of the tank, that's how you actually get air into the water. When some people have the air stones at the bottom of the tank and the air stones send up the bubbles, those bubbles go straight to the top and burst. They don't stay in the water. The air doesn't stay in the water. And that's because those bubbles are used to break the surface of the water. That doesn't actually spread air throughout the water. So when you agitate the surface of the water, that is what puts the air back into the water for the fish. So that's why, rather than having an air stone or anything like that, which is not needed, as long as you have your water pointed to the top of the tank so it doesn't go stagnant, that's the exact word, thank you Blue Dove. If your water is constantly moving, that will draw air into the tank. I am cycling the tank at the moment, Ali, yes. Sazzle, so there are holes in the TARDIS. There are plants for them to swim through, and the Starship Enterprise is probably going to be up on its side so they can swim through the I can't remember what the bits at the back are called, the engines. Yeah, I don't need an air stone for the reasons I just explained. An air stone doesn't actually put air in the water, because as soon as the air comes through the stone, it goes straight to the top. It doesn't actually put air into the water. It sends bubbles to the top, which break the surface and move the surface, which is what draws air in. It's making sure the water isn't stagnant, which is what moving the water is what brings the air in. I am doing Tropical Mel, yes. And also, just talking about Pepsi Max for a minute. As you know, I really have been not drinking Pepsi Max. And it's surprising, having stopped drinking so much for so long, it's surprising just how much I can now taste the Pepsi Max. My taste buds were sensitized to the taste, but now I'm not drinking it anywhere near as often. I'm actually realizing I'm tasting it more. That's different, definitely different, Blue Dove. If you like having the air stone, no problem, it's not going to hurt the fish, but you don't have to have the air stone as well. It's not actually adding any benefit to the tank. And I don't like air stones because they make so much water motion noise that a lot of people will know this one. When you sit with water running, it makes you want to go to the loo a lot more. Oh, wow, Diane. Cool. There aren't any fish, Lauren. The tank is cycling, which means it's a new tank, and it's cycling before I put any fish in. And I am getting shrimps. So the pet shop told me that the shrimps don't produce anywhere near enough waste to make a difference on how many fish I have in the aquarium, unless I suddenly end up with hundreds of shrimps, because they can breed. So they said if I end up with hundreds, that would make a difference. But I don't need to worry about just having half a dozen or so. I don't know exactly what I'm getting yet, user, no. But I was having a good look yesterday. Good evening, Declan. So I want to get some curry catfish. I want to get some shrimp. I'm looking at, I can't remember all the names, but there were some really small tetra-like fish, but they weren't tetras. I know they weren't, but they were really small, and they had a very fine orange line through them. And I want a little gang of them because they're really cute. And I mean small. They were smaller than normal tetras. And some others as well. Yeah, I'm going to have 2 or 3 curries at the bottom. Little curries. Leonardo da Vinci. I love that, Lils. I love that. So obviously I'm not going to be able to name things like the tetras, the guppies and the mollies unless I have any really distinctive ones. If I have any really distinctive ones, then they will get names. But when I get the catfish, sorry, not catfish, the angelfish, sorry, not the catfish. When I get the couple of others that are more distinctive, I will be trying to come up with names and asking you guys ideas. Phil and Gary. I think I'm more likely to end up with a Phil and Grant Sazzle. Not Phil and Gary, but Phil and Grant. Hello, oh yes, darling. Lilybutt. Well, my brother and sister-in-law paid for the tank for me for my Christmas present. They basically helped me pay for the whole setup. They haven't paid the whole cost, but they've definitely helped me pay for a large chunk of it. They've paid for the tank and part of the rest of the cost as well as my Christmas present. But it was a lot cheap. It's a much cheaper setup than the fluval tank I wanted to get, because the fluval tank I wanted to get is no longer available, and the nearest model to it has gone up in price to £1,000, and there's no way I could justify that at the moment. Not a chance. And this is a fraction of that cost. And then with my brother and sister-in-law helping me pay for it as well for Christmas, it's not cost me much at all. It's cost me less than £100 because of my brother and sister-in-law helping me with the whole cost, which I'm very grateful for. I got they've got a family, Lucy Lou, so I got all of them Christmas presents. I don't need to tell you what I got them. Beth, it's going well, thank you, although I've had a dodgy few days. Overall, it's going okay. But yeah, I've confessed to having a slightly dodgy couple of days, and we'll get back on the bike, as they say. When you fall off, you get straight back on. Good evening, because of God, thank you. And I love your username. Exactly, Beth. Although having a Pizza Hut pizza tonight was probably a bit too much. But you know what? I just pick myself back up and carry on. I don't know what that brand is, Zara, but I got that from Jojo. That's a Jojo bag. It's got a Pop Mart figure on the front of it. Oh yes, Lara, it was delicious. Yes, Sean, yes. Cheat day. No, I don't want to go live with anybody. Turn off. Turn off. There we go. Oh, that's what I mean, Beth. Get back on the bike, definitely. Yeah, I'll do it now, Cozy Bay. I'll give you a show you Luna's cage now. She is sat in there. There you go. That shows you how she snuggles with that LeMay's toy. You can see how she's snuggling in and leaning into it. And this is her palace. You can see how big her cage is. I can't get it all in the camera. That is Luna's palace. I've got to change the cage liner tomorrow. So there you go, there's her palace. And I've switched to using cage liners. I'll actually show you in a minute. And this is her perch that she sits on outside of the cage. In here. And there you go. There she is. You can see how small she is in that cage. You can see how small she is. So how big her cage actually is for her. That cage is sold as an African grey cage. So yeah, you can see how much room she's got. She sleeps in there, Z. She is Rapunzel, very definitely. Hi, Cornelius. Right, I will flip the camera back round and I will show you what I found on Amazon. Just bear with me a second. Only got this just over a week ago. And it's brilliant. So this is, hadn't realised Luna pooped on the top of it. So this is cage liner. So it's very thin material. You can't tear it. You know, it's not tissue. It's not paper. That literally doesn't tear. A bird can chew it. Luna's been chewing in corners and stuff, and she hasn't been able to chew it. This is 46 centimetres tall, and you can unroll it as long as you need. So people with big indoor aviaries can make line after line of it on the floor. People like me who've got small cage, well, I say small, fairly large cages for Luna, can just unroll it to the length of the cage and lie it in. And that is how how wide the bottom of her cage is from one side of the cage to the other. Not the top of the cage where the metal is. The white plastic at the bottom is that wide. That's 46 centimetres wide. The top of the cage is slightly wider. It's about 55 centimetres because it curves upwards in a diagonal kind of thing on the sides. It's about between 50 and 55 centimetres in the actual cage part. And her whole cage is about 1 metre wide. But yeah, this roll, I don't know exactly how long it is, I'll have to find out. But one piece of this stretches the whole cage. And I reckon I'll get at least 30 or 40 cage liners out of this. So for me, that's absolutely brilliant. Just to lie a piece of that across the bottom of the cage. One of these lasts a week. And then what I also do, because I do this every day, is I put pieces of kitchen roll underneath where Luna regularly sits. So this is the kitchen roll that I use. This is the kitchen roll that I use. Good old Blitz kitchen roll. And yeah, she sleeps standing up, yes. Some birds will sleep lying down, Matt, especially if they're nesting and they're lying on top of eggs, things like that. But a lot of birds will stand up sleeping. Yes, that's what Luna does. Where Luna sits, like where she's sat at the moment, underneath her there is a piece of kitchen paper, because when she does her morning poos, a bit like us, you know, when we've been asleep all night and we get up and we go to the loo first thing in the morning, those bowel movements tend to be the biggest of the day. especially in birds. So Luna's morning poo, I make sure she's done it before I let her out the cage, because Luna's morning poo is huge in comparison to the little poo she does. And when I've got nice and put clean clothes on, the last thing I want is her morning poo on my clean clothes. Yes, Pumpkin, she has, yes. Sorry about that, Alexandra. Oh dear. We're talking about things that are perfectly normal and natural for all animals. Oh, Holly, congratulations. Oh, excuse me. Congratulations. Woo. Exactly, Raven. It's so natural. That is my standard Vinto mango and pomegranate. Pomegranate? Passion fruit, not pomegranate. Sorry, passion fruit. Mango and passion fruit. So my next battle day for February is going to be the 14th, not the 15th. We did a poll a while ago. We did a couple of polls on a couple of different evenings, and everybody said do it on the 14th, not the 15th, because it's Valentine's. So we're doing battles on Valentine's Day. Nutmeg, I hope the python didn't come back and bite you. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, the agency box battles is at the end of the month. The agency box battle is at the end. I've got this picture of a python now. Right, guys. Bowel movements in my lives are now known as pythons. So if you want to do python jokes, you can use the word python. Oh dear. CL 1405. Go and have a look at Rebecca's page, and you'll see lots of lovely videos of Maya. Rebecca's page is scales, feathers, and fur, because Rebecca is a dog sitter and dog walker. And if you struggle finding her, go and look for her as a tag in my videos. Nice one, Polly. A python poll. Okay, python poll. Have you had a python today? Smiley face yes, sad face no. Python poll. Have you had a python today? Happy face yes, sad face no. Go on. Happy face yes, sad face no for a python poll. Have you had a python today? I can't believe Wiggle. Oh dear. Oh, I can't believe we're saying this. Oh dear, 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 dear. Oh, more of you can vote than that. We got 300 people in the room. That could be fibromyalgia as well as ME. I've just said, you know what? I've had ME for so long. Fibromyalgia came up in the late 90s, early noughties. And with fibromyalgia being a fairly new term, if that makes sense, when I was diagnosed with ME, fibromyalgia wasn't a thing at all. I'd never heard of it when I was diagnosed. So you're saying it was around in the 70s, are you? Is that Zaire? Sorry if I've missaid your name. Okay, I didn't know that. I'd never heard of it. It was never questioned for me. I only heard of fibromyalgia about 10 years ago. Yes, Marion, I know ME was known as yuppie flu. My dad was diagnosed in the very early 80s. So my family has a history of ME. And I know other people who've got family history with ME as well. Sorry, Marina. I apologise. I do get some names wrong incorrectly and I don't do it deliberately, so I apologise. Hello, Dodie. What? Why was ME known as yuppie flu? Is that what you're asking, James? So, one of the reasons ME was known as yuppie flu back in the early 80s was people didn't believe ME was real. They called it yuppie flu because so many people who don't stop ended up with ME. Basically, people who literally worked themselves into the ground. When they were ill, they didn't stop working. They just carried on. And you've never heard of somebody who's lazy getting ME. It just doesn't happen. Because one of the biggest things with ME is you work yourself into the ground. I often look back to when I was first ill. And when I was very first ill and I had the viral infection that I had, I was told if you don't come back to work, you'll lose your job. Because back then, there wasn't the employment laws about sickness that there are now. Back in the early 90s, there weren't the employment laws. That's all changed now, but back then there weren't. And people could say, if you don't come back to work, you will lose your job. And I wish that I hadn't held on to the job, because it is a possibility, not definite, but as a possibility I might not have been so ill for so long if I'd not tried to hold on to my job, which I absolutely loved. But you know what? Do I have any regrets? No, I don't. I have no regrets. Because there's so many things that I've done in my life that if my life had panned out differently, I wouldn't have done. Carrie, I'm 50. 51 in May. Today, Emma, I'm a bit tired because it's 1 a.m. and I still haven't slept yet. If you're referring to Friday, yeah, I'm all right. It's been a funny day, but I'm all right. Luna's fine, thank you, Miss Fit. She's gone to bed. Hello, Samantha. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Oh, thank you, Lara. I'll go to sleep when I want to, thanks, Law. Are you the dormitory mistress, telling people when to go to bed? When was I diagnosed with PCOS? When I was 19, Kels. I queried having very intermittent periods. I'd never even heard of PCOS back when I was 19. And yeah, that's how I was diagnosed, by somebody who knew about PCOS, and sent me for a scan and an ultrasound scan and blood tests. I love that F&H. Yeah. Law, consider this a warning. You have been muted for the rest of this live. If you keep coming back being silly, I'll ban you next time. Because you've said silly things already this evening. So you've only been muted. But if you don't stop, I will ban you next time. Miss B, I'll tell you when it happens. I thought I'd already hit menopause, but I haven't, because I had a period start a couple of days ago. I've already been talking about it this evening. That's why I've been feeling so crap this week, because I've hit a period when I wasn't expecting to. So yeah. So, yeah. It's possible I'm premenopausal, Lara, yes. No, Lauren. My periods have never been regular. Ever. Yeah, that's true, actually, Michelle, isn't it? You can still have periods even if you're in the menopause, yeah. No, Lisa, not for me. I'm going to say this, Lisa. I think the symptoms with PCOS vary from one person to another, because severity of PCOS is a very big scale. I'm at one end of the scale. I'm at a high end because of the weight problems, the insulin resistance, the very high testosterone, everything. Personally, Lauren, I haven't noticed anything that reduces my symptoms. No. So, yeah, there's such a big scale with PCOS. Thank you, Lauren. Becky, I acknowledge I'm lucky. I don't have endometriosis. And I acknowledge, Becky, that I've heard, I have no experience of it. I can't talk about it, but I have heard that endometriosis can be had at the same time as PCOS. I know people can have both. And I'm aware that the endometriosis can be a lot more painful than PCOS. So my heart goes out to you. I don't have it. I can't talk on it, but I am aware. Yeah, my name's Annette. Luna is my parrot. So Georgie, my hair has always grown well. I have very high testosterone. That is why I'm able to grow a beard. That is probably why my hair also grows so well. But at the same time, some people with PCOS lose a lot of hair on their head. So, you know what? It has a double-edged thing. I'm actually lucky that I haven't lost much hair on my head. But then again, because I have so much of it, I might lose hair and not realise it. But I do get, whenever I brush my hair thoroughly, I do lose some hair. Is that because I've got long hair and lots of it? Or does it break and come out? I honestly don't know you. Bitter. No comment, Pitter. You love him, really. I know you do. Hello, Emma. Yeah, doing all right with Slimming World, thanks, Carly. Had a wobble today. I've already talked about it earlier this evening. It's because of my period, and I've been craving for the last couple of days. I've had cravings for different things because of the hormones, because of the emotional stuff, you know, all that women's stuff that goes along with the monthly. Talking about periods, you know what, and everybody is affected by it differently. But when I have a period, which is rare, but when I have a period, I end up with cravings, and this is the first period I've had since doing Slimming World. And yeah, the cravings got to me, and I ended up having a pizza today because, you know what, yeah. Yeah, I know I'm not the only person who gets cravings. So do I beat myself up? No, I just pick myself back up again. Pitter, convert that the other way. So the highest my oven goes up is 210. NC, it just surprises me. Now, if I look backwards to last week, and if I said to myself last week, you might have a period coming, actually I can see bits last week, but it's so long since I've had a period, I genuinely thought I'd seen my last one, that I didn't even think about having a period at the moment. Didn't even think it. So I want to talk about menopause, things like that with my GP. When I go to see my new GP for the first time, one of the things on the list that I'm going to talk to them about is, am I in the menopausal era? Is it worth me getting the blood test for menopause? What else can I try? Is it worth me trying HRT or a herbal alternative to HRT? What is there that I can try that won't affect other things? No, Georgie. Luna sleeps in the snug where I spend a lot of time. Really, Butterfly? They don't do the test anymore? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you, Abby. It's from a company called Typo, Typo. Louise, with PCOS, that's very difficult to judge because some people can have 12 months of periods when they're 22, 23. Because with PCOS, it can be very hit and miss. Oh, thank you, Lara. Talking of PJs, I got a new pair of PJs. Well, I say PJs, it's a lounge suit. It's a daytime PJ set. Do you want to see the top? I think this is the top. Yeah. You ready for this? Ta-da! And relax. There we go. Long sleeve PJ top. But it's too thick for sleeping in. This is very much a daytime. I'll have to cut that cotton off. This is very much a daytime set. Way too fluffy for sleeping in. So I got that. That's a loungewear set that arrived today. I had a money off voucher to use. No, I don't sleep with socks, Lara, no. IDOT. Let's see. I've gone through college for several years. I've worked multiple different jobs. I've been in self-employment for a good few years, through the mid-teens and early 20s. You know, I've done an awful lot of different things. So, no, I haven't been doing nothing since the 80s, thank you very much. Ugh. Emma, I did photography at college. I worked 5 days a week in photographic retail and studied at college 1 day a week, and then had a full social life as well, and then became ill. And people wonder why I say I had a full life. You know, I never stopped. And that's why when I did have to stop because I was ill, that's why it hit me so bad. I think you've missed an I out of your name. Bye. No, I've never been married, Miss B. No. I nearly got married twice to the same guy, 13 years apart. But no. Never been married. My duvet is quite thick, and also I've got a folded blanket at the end of my bed in case I ever need it. So my feet are always the warmest part of me. Pumpkin. Yes, never say never. Is it the top of my priority list? No. If I meet somebody, fantastic. But I'm not going out there hunting for someone. Oh, that's a good one, Telegraph Poll. What do I prefer? I take it you mean analogue, you mean film photography or digital. Because digital has now got so good, I prefer digital now. Because once you're past the... Once you get past the late 90s into the noughties stage of digital photography, where the megapixels were so low and the prices were so high, now that it's got to a sensible price for digital photography, I prefer digital. But if you ask me a different question of, do I prefer automatic or manual photography? My answer will always be manual. I prefer manual settings on a camera. I used to prefer manual focus, but I can't focus manually anymore because of my eyesight. So I must use autofocus now. However, I always have my camera on manual. So aperture, shutter, film speed, or ISO, the sensitivity of your sensor on digital, all that type of thing. I have that completely on manual. I hate using automatic because with manual you have so much more control. I talk about things with a passion, Daniel. It's called being passionate about something. So if I'm passionate about it, I'm going to talk about it as if it's important, yeah. I take things seriously. There's no problem with that. Hello, Pumpkinies. How are you, darling? Thank you, F&H. Thank you. Hey, Ems. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you? 14th, Tanya. 14th of November. Valentine's Day is when we are next battling. Fern, I'm not in America. I don't know what laws are being passed at the moment. Do I support Trump? No. Do I think Trump's dangerous? Yes. Am I scared by some of the things he wants to do? Most definitely. I have been to America in the past, yeah. I've got a family over there, including Pitta. Not that she's directly family, but I count her as family. Do I want to go over at some point? Yes, I definitely do. Kimberly, thank you for the follow. "14th of February, I said, little labs. Pizza. Yes. George the Second. Was it George the Second? Was he king during the Revolution, the American Revolution? Was that King George the Second? Yes, Alexander Hamilton and all that, Pitta. I don't know. I don't know my royals. It was George the Third, was it? Thank you, Telegraph Poll. They say the price of my love is a price you're not willing to pay. Why so blue? I can't remember any of the other words. Lizzie, I love Outlander. But you know what? I love the books more than the TV show. Because there's so much in the in the books that they can't show on the show. Ow. I do like musicals, Bertha, yes. Ow. Sorry, that's my knee giving me a little bit of jip this evening. Dodie, I will say, when it came to the Queen, I had a lot of respect for her and the Queen Mother, her mother. I had a lot of respect for them. I have zero respect for the current monarch. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, there's so many musicals I like, and there's so many musicals I want to see. I don't have one favourite, I'm afraid. don't have one particular favourite. Miss B, I totally agree. I've never seen it, Amy. I want to see it, but I've never seen it. There are so many musicals that I've not yet seen that I want to see. Thank you so much, Lara, for the hand heart. Thank you. Have I seen Wicked? Yes, I saw it back in 2004 in London. I've only seen it the once on stage, and I love the soundtrack. And I've now seen the film, well, the first film. Joelle, you're not invisible. I can see that comment. Hello. Apologies, I've not said hello to you. I haven't seen a comment to say hi to back. I apologise, but I am so busy talking that quite often comments do fly past, and I do apologise. Hi. I prefer the books again, Bertha, because there's so much information in the books that doesn't come across in the films. I saw Cats when I was about 10, Abby, about 40 years ago, and I love it. I saw it when Bonnie Langford was in the original cast back in the 80s. And I do remember her singing and dancing in the show. And ever since then, I've admired her whenever I've seen her on TV doing stuff. I've thought she's a brilliant actress my whole life since then. It's quite funny to see somebody on stage when you're young and then watch them as you've grown up. I didn't like the film very much, Bertha. The film version of Cats, I didn't like it very much. I think it's because I prefer what I remember of the stage show versus all the special effects in the film. Although the film is trying to be a stage show, I just couldn't get my head around it. DC Diva, DC definitely. I'm a big Arrow fan, and Flash and that type of thing. So yeah, I definitely say DC, not Marvel. I've not seen 6. No, I want to see it, but I haven't seen it. No, I've not seen Les Mis or Phantom live, but I have seen both in film versions. And I've seen the show version. You know, there was a TV series done of Les Mis without the music. I've seen that as well. Yeah, I want to see 6. I've listened to some of the music, not all of it, some of it, and I would like to see it, yeah. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. My favourite movie as a child was Annie and The Sound of Music. It's funny how they're both musicals. Just mind your fingers, Pitter. And I mean the original Annie with... oh, my brain's just gone completely blank. Yeah, that one, Pumpkin, yeah. I did like Evita, yes. Amy, it's okay, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's grey and lonely, I just stick at my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, you're only a day away. Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, you're only a day away. Yeah, I can't sing, and I know I can't sing, but you know what? I'm as good as karaoke as anybody else is. No, I've never seen Flushed Away. Ring of cities, not round Moscow, it's north of Moscow. And I've got it here. I couldn't remember the exact details, so my apologies. And it's a city, a ring of cities. It's not literally an actual ring, it's more like a V shape, north and slightly east, going north and slightly east of Moscow. And Vladimir and Suzdal are the two cities that we went to, and they're to the east of Moscow and to the north of Moscow. Northeast and east. Sorry, northeast and northeast even, kind of thing. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities in the ring. I'm 50. And yeah, I'm just looking at a few pictures that look very familiar to me. I'm just looking at a few pictures now that have come up on Google while I've just Googled it. And yeah. One of the things I love about Russia, people ask me what I love about Russia. One of the things I love about Russia is the architecture. I love the architecture of Russia and the old buildings. I love some of the old churches and how they're built. I won't necessarily say I certainly don't follow the Orthodox Church. But I love the architecture of the Orthodox Church. Kale, because I got confused. I watched the 1990 football match in which England got knocked out of the World Cup. And I thought it was the Maradona one, but it wasn't. It was Maradona was in 86. I watched the 1990 one. So I couldn't remember who it was, but I got confused thinking it was the Maradona one, but it wasn't. But it was the 1991, and I can't remember who it was they were playing or whatever. Don't even know. Is Maradona Argentina or Brazil? That's literally how much I know about football. I don't. Oh, sorry. Just needing to change my angle. Argentina, there you go. That's how much I know. What does my t-shirt say? I'd rather be sleeping. Why am I awake? Because I'm not asleep. I had a very late night last night because I was busy doing stuff. And I'd slept so much during the daytime yesterday that I slept very late this morning, and that's why I'm wide awake still. Doesn't mean you have to be here, guys. You can go to bed anytime you like. Just like I'm going to bed when I feel like it. I'm an adult. I can do what I like. No plans for the weekend, Rachel, apart from I hope to make it to church on Sunday. But apart from that, no plans. Oh, Ashley, you say that with so much trouble in your voice. You sound like that's going to be such a struggle for you to stay up, Ashley. Oh, I'll stay up just for you, Annette. Hello, Mandy. Yes, you can have a hello. I told you, Ashley, that's a real hardship, isn't it? Staying up just for me. Hello again, Granny Smith. I think Granny Pollard's gone to bed. Go to bed, Pitter. You more tired than me. Are we going to all sleep and dream of pythons tonight? Ah, I love that, Granny Smith. Who's going to go to bed dreaming of pythons? If you do, you've got a very warped sense of humour. And I'm not explaining that one. I know that feeling, Kale. I know that feeling.